Today guys we will be exposing Nabil Asli new lies.
As to those women on whose part ye fear disloyalty and ill conduct, admonish them, refuse to share their beds, beat them. But if they return to obedience, seek not against them, for Allah is most high, great. The English translator, a Muslim named Yusuf Ali, felt very uncomfortable with this verse, so he put his own opinion in brackets, which means beat the wives lightly. Prophet Muhammad certainly would have disapproved it. The Prophet not only sanctioned such behavior, but purportedly engaged in wife-beating himself. This is the story of that.
He said Dr. Yusuf translation was adding lies by saying beat them lightly. But let's check Sahih Muslim. Habir ibn Abdullah reported, the Messenger of Allah, peace and blessings be upon him, said, fear Allah regarding women. Verily, you have taken them as a trust from Allah, and intercourse has been made lawful by the word of Allah. Your rights over them are that they do not let anyone in the house you dislike. If they do so, you may strike them without violence. Their rights over you are that you provide for them and clothe them in a reasonable manner. Source: Sahih Muslim 12:18. Nabil Asli the liar himself.
Before he went to bed, he took off his shoes, placed them near his feet, and spread the shawl on the bed. Then he lay down together with me. He waited until he thought that I had gone asleep. But I didn't fall asleep yet, so I could see that he took hold of his mantle slowly and put on the shoes slowly, and opened the door and went out and then closed it lightly. I got up quickly, put on my veil and waist wrapper. Then I went out following his steps. Rasulullah stopped when he reached Baqi, which is the graveyard. Oh! What on earth is he doing there? Rasulullah stood there for a long time. He then lifted up his hands 3 times. After he was done, he turned around to return back.
You can see here, it clearly says, yes, he gave me a nudge on the chest, not nudges on the chest.
The words of Aisha, may Allah be pleased with her, he gave me a painful shove in the chest, indicate that what the Prophet, blessings and peace of Allah be upon him, did was merely a shove, i.e., he pushed her or poked her in the chest. This does not reach the level of real hitting that is intended to cause pain and to humiliate. In fact, it is stated in Lisan al-Arab 393 that one of the meanings of the word lad, translated here as shove, is poke. In Taj al-Aruz 9/145, it says that one of the meanings of the word lad is to apply pressure. All of these meanings indicate that the Prophet, blessings and peace of Allah be upon him, did not hit her in the sense meant by those who want to cast aspersions upon him. Rather, he poked her or pushed her in the chest in such a way that she felt pain, but it was mild and unintended pain. Rather, the purpose behind it was to point out something and teach.
The Prophet obviously was embarrassed since Aisha knew that he was scared on the way back from the graveyard because of his own superstitious.
Jibril came to me and he said that Allah has commanded me to go to the inhabitants of Baqi, to those lying in the graves, and beg pardon for them.
From this hadith, we know that Prophet Muhammad did domestic violence against his favorite wife, Aisha.
Well, she should not leave the house without my permission. Besides, Allah already gives Muslims the right to do that, to control their women in Surah An-Nisa, verse 34. A man will not be asked as to why he beat his wife.
Muhammad used God and Islamic law to justify abhorrent behavior against women and to suppress consciousness among Muslims. When a Muslim husband beats his wife, he doesn't feel guilty because he was told that Allah approves of his action and will not ask anything about it. This is pure evil. This harsh discipline degrades and dehumanizes women. There is no way to justify the institutionalized physical and psychological abuse of women commanded by Islam. Islam is not the solution, it is the problem.
Nabil Asli lied by saying the Prophet gave her the shove on her to cause an intentional pain, but the Prophet did that to teach her a lesson not to spy on others and not to leave bed at night and not to dress half naked. It was guidance and lessons for saying Islam has problem because the Prophet gave Aisha a shove. Then it is Nabil Asli's ignorance.